What is up, my little Danos? Vepsisi, your gods of the Helsinki Dragons, and we are here for the PPL Season 2 Week 5 battle when I go up against Jay Ricky. And it's a pretty cool experience in that regard that we are gonna be having, because I'm pretty sure this is gonna be our first time playing each other in a Draft League scene-wise. And he is the founder of the UBL League that I'm being most probably known for, that I've been taking part of. Like, that's where I really put myself into the spectrum, I guess, even though I'm not still like a big content creator, of course. But at least for people that follow me and know me as a Draft League player for Wi-Fi scene, UBO is the one that people recognize me from being playing in for the most part. So it's cool to get to play the founder of the league. And before we jump into the team builder, I will cover very briefly the changes on my roster that we dropped Prelum and Red Sea Ice, who was my second Terra captain. For Ibambi, Colossal, that is gonna be my second Terra type, Terra Mon with Terra Rock, Water and Fairy. And with 1 point we also added Flapple to our roster that I was able to afford still. And for my Noivern, I also changed its Terra types, now being Terra Flying, Terra Normal, and now instead of Terra Fairy, it's gonna be Terra Fire, because I wanted to have a more offensive Terra type that can also hit steel types, which normally was able to deal with my Terra type Noivern up until this point of the season pretty well. So adding an offensive type that deals with steel types felt like a essential and somewhat like a nice addition. And I also added another mon that has already a Terra Fairy to its typings in Colossal, and I added Ripombi that is also a Fairy. So it felt like a redundant to have also Noivern as a Terra Fairy. So that's pretty much the free agency stuff along the way, and now, out of the way I should say, and now let's go through the team that I'm gonna be bringing versus Jay Ricky. We're gonna be starting off with a Choice Scout Modest Rotom, who is gonna be here to enable handling the mana fee relatively well, because with Choice Scout we should be outpacing it, and with Modest Nature, Volt Switches and Thunderbolts will be doing good amount of damage to that mana fee or anything else that I need to hit on with them. Then I have Hydro Pump as a stab to hit the Tinglu and the fire types on his roster. And then I have Trick just in case if I'm already been able to deal with the mana fee and I need to cripple something from Ricky's side, I can utilize that and put myself in a position that things like Tinglu or Klefki cannot really freely click any one move. Like status move, and try to spam them really easily that way, and they're gonna be a little bit crippled from doing that and freeing up my Rotom to doing different things after the mana fee has been dealt with. And then we are gonna be bringing a Choice Banded Iron Valiant. I haven't actually run a Valiant that hasn't run a booster NHC thus far. It's been always booster NHC speed. But this week I figured that, you know what, Choice Bandit looks pretty nice versus his team if I get the 6 Pokemon right, what he's gonna be bringing. Essentially I'm expecting no Clefairy to come into this game, which would be the one stoppage to this set that I have, and other fighting resistance that he would bring outside of Miss Magius being a immunity, which wouldn't necessarily want to swap into me right away. They are not gonna be wanting to take Choice Bandit close combats. These are gonna be hurting a lot. And funnily enough, close combat actually does more to the mana fee, unless it's physically defensive. Let's say it's max HP mana fee. Choice Bandit close combat from Iron Valiant does more than Modest Thunderbolt from Rotom. That is a super effective stab, by the way. So it's a quite of a damage output that we can put out of Iron Valiant when we put a Choice Band on it. And I didn't feel like setting up this week, because I feel like that there's a lot of ways he can stop it or hit me too hard that I don't really get realistically the opportunity to set up in itself. And then we are gonna be bringing our Alolan Muk with the same exact set that we ran versus Montai Week 3. This time around it's here to help out dealing with things like Azelf or Terra Mismagius, and just removing items with knockoff, or when it's nice to be able to eliminate leftovers from his side or whatnot. Poison Jab just for a stab, with Poison Touch we can gain poisons a lot easier. Then we have Recycle Rest just for longevity, and Lumberry can also be nice to remove potential burn that Miss Magius might be throwing my way with a Will-O-Wisp. So that way it's a nice utility mon. I do have to be cautious of not clicking knockoff if I utilize Trick, Choice Scout for my Rotom or from my Noivern that is also Choice Scout this week with a Switcheroo and potentially trying to cripple something else. So that's something to keep in mind for myself going into the game, that I'm a little bit more mindful when to click knockoff. but it's still nice to have as of course as a stab. It's one of the best moves in the game, and I'm not gonna hesitate not to run it regardless of my game plan. Then we have a cast up very physically defensive flash fire ability Colossal with the Terra Water. And this is gonna be running Power Gem, Body Press, Iron Defense, and Endure. This is my full-on blanket check to the Gorging Fire that I'm expecting to carry Iron Head versus me, because I could have been Terra Fairy with Flash Fire and I would be immune to its both stabs. And therefore I would have been quite of an insane natural counter to Gorging Fire, which is why I think he's gonna be running Iron Head. And because I'm putting him in a position of predicament that he has to run a steel coverage for my Colossal in case it's variant, which is very obvious. We are gonna be running Terra Water that is gonna be kind of covering the bases. When I'm gonna be swapping this in, he might go for a stab move and follow it up with an Iron Head, or he goes for like Dragon Dance as I swap into and then try to follow up with an Iron Head. I wanna catch him off guard there and swap this one in and then Terralize into Terra Water, and if he sets up I can click Iron Defense and therefore he cannot break me, and with the Castaberry Endure I can assure that I can still get up a one last ditch effort of Power Gem that should put in a range of my Shadow Sneak from Iron Valiant, or I just beat it 1v1 cause Power Gem should be doing at very least like a 40%, maybe 33% if it's very bulky, but at worst case scenario Colossal should be able to beat it 1v1. Which is really what it's there for. And Iron Defense Body Press is also a nice way to pressure Ting Lu that otherwise I would not do much damage for, so it's just another reasoning to run the move besides dealing with the Gorging Fire in itself. And then we have our dedicated lead, which Addison actually gave me as a set, which really put the team all together, because I had a general idea what I wanted to do in this game, or what I had to do as well, but I was struggling getting my early game going, and Addison came up with this really nice set for me that is going to be a check button, Iron Threads with Earthquake, Endeavor, Rapid Spin, and Stealth Rocks. The idea with this is that I'm going to be always leading with this and clicking Stealth Rocks. I'm most likely going to be putting myself in a position that I'm facing either Ting Lu if it thinks that I'm leading with my Noivern, that is usually been a very safe lead for me to do. Versus that thing, I can leave any one hit, go for Stealth Rocks, and if it chooses to attack me, I can check button myself out and choose to go into either Iron Valiant to threatening him out, or go into Roto Was and play it from there. And then later in portion of the battle, when I can bring Iron Threats in, when it spawns one hit from his side, I can go for a fast Endeavor and put them in a very low health, like Ting Lu for example, that is a very easy swap in for him. And versus something like a Manaphy, all I need to do is just go for Stealth Rock, still turn 1, and then I proceed to click Earthquakes until Manaphy takes me out. Because after one turn of Earthquake that I done to Manaphy, let's say it's max HP, it's all in a range of my close combat from Iron Valiant. So it's pretty safe lead for my behalf in that regard, thinking that I have pretty much outs for every single scenario that he can put myself into in turn 1 and 2. So I already like the fact that I have a dedicated idea what I want to do in this game with Iron Threads, set up the hazards, win the hazard war game versus Ricky, that is going to be very important, and proceed from there and see what I'm dealing with from his side. And then we have Choice Scarf Noivern with Infiltrator, just in case if I see Substitute, or more importantly screens from Klefkin itself, to have some sort of revenge killer for things like Victory Bell under the Sun, which is one of his Terra Captains. Its typings were Poison, Fire, and Dragon. His other Terra type was the Mismagius with Terra Ghost, Fairy, and Fighting respectively. I forgot to mention those earlier, so it's good that the Victory Bell came into mention on this set, because this can outpace the Victory Bell under the Sun, and Draco Meteor should be doing like 76% to it at minimum at least, which should be putting it in a range of my Iron Valiant Shadow Sneak, which is really important for it. Then we have Flamethrower to hit the Klefki, U-turn for the initiative, and Switcheroo is there just in case if I don't need the Choice Scarf on Noivern anymore and I need to cripple something like a set up Klefki or Manaphy. I have this option as well to cripple them, so I can handle them from there and proceed how I need to revenge one of those two mons once they have crippled with the Noivern's Choice Scarf. So that's gonna be the team. Pretty offensive team for a matchup that I think I have to, but I like the game plan that I've been assembled together with Addison. That should be able to do quite fine, but you always never know that how it's gonna go. But we're gonna see and find out that very soon in this video. For me, it's gonna be in few hours, but you get to see it right away after this. Alright, here we are with the battle versus J Ricky for week 5. Let's get into this. It's gonna be a exciting match. He has a potential Sun tier with Corking Fire, which is very threatening. Of course, he's coming into this with 3-1 record, as I'm sitting at 2-2, and I would love to gain a win here and put myself in a better position for playoffs and whatnot. Okay, so he brings Klefki, Miss Magius, which is one of his Terra captains that can be Terra Ghost, Fairy, and Fighting. On this case, I would guess Fairy versus me. We see Corking Fire, we see Manaphy, Aself, and Tinglu. Miss Magius, I'm curious about, will it be like a Will-O-Wisp set? Maybe even with a Custard Berry? Manaphy can be a lot of things I could expect to see, like a Carl Tailclaw set or a bulkier set. Corking Fire without Sun is interesting. That could also be bulky, or it's just meant to be just a offensive mon regardless, it's just hitting harder even outside of the Sun, per se. But my lead is gonna be Iron Threads, that is a dedicated lead to kick, ideally get up Stealth Rocks right away. And hopefully, I know with my investment I can leave a max special attack hit from a Manaphy, I can leave a hit from Tinglu, even if it's a nature max attack Earthquake. And that will give me initiative to utilize the check button and swap accordingly turn 2 or turn 3 depending on what they do. Or when do they choose to attack me if those were the leads. We see Firefly, which is the Manaphy. Okay. So turn 1, we are gonna be getting up our Stealth Rocks, and turn 2, if it's not Choice Scarf, we go for Earthquake and engage the damage on it. But Stealth Rocks turn 1, we outpace it, so it's not Choice Scarf. What do we see out of the Manaphy? As he goes for Knockoff. Interesting. So it's a Knockoff set on it, which means I cannot actually swap out on that. That's quite annoying. So Manaphy has Knockoff on it, so it's not a setup set then. Interesting. That could give me the opportunity to just go for Earthquake first. Just to gain the damage, because I need that for my Iron Valiant. So I think I'll go for the Earthquake, not change my plan regardless of the check button being knocked off. As I do decent amount of damage, that's good damage. As he goes for Scald, and now I'm in Endeavor range, which is really nice. So now I can go for Endeavor. If he chooses to withdraw for any reason, or thinking that I would Volt Switch and goes into Tinglu, that would be a really good scenario. But we have seen Knockoff and Skull from the Manaphy, so not looking like a setup set, it's just a dedicated lead set of his own. I need to identify which one of Miss Magius or Asa would be the choice Scarf. Even Corking Fire technically can be that. He doesn't have a remover on his team, so those Stealth Rocks will be there to stay, which is nice. As he does withdraw, do I see Tinglu? I would love to see Tinglu. Oh baby, this is perfect. Thank you. This is like a perfect scenario for me, because now I get a whole... I get a big old Endeavor off, and EQ might kill after it. Yeah. Well, that puts into Rocky Helmet, so it's a Rocky Helmet Tinglu. And he doesn't want to deal with this. I can get up a Earthquake here. That's amazing. That's amazing that he preserved the Manaphy. Because now I can kill the Tinglu off here. Cool. So that was his Stealth Rocker, which means my Noivern doesn't have to take Stealth Rock damage, because I'm Choice Carb with it. And technically it is the fastest mon in this matchup right now. So we see the Asel coming in. Has to take the Stealth Rocks, which is really nice. And I could still preserve this for Endeavor, which would be pretty neat. Or as it's just a sack in general, which I think I would do. Because what is the worst case scenario that he U-turns on? He U-turns into Manaphy, which I get to hit off. He can go into Klefki, I suppose. Caulking Fire that I have answered to. Yeah, I think I'll preserve this as a sack or potentially get another Endeavor off later on. So we go into our Bob, the Alola as he goes for Flamethrower. We should hit this fine, and I have Lumber even in case for a burn. And here, honestly, knockoff is very free. Nothing likes to take this knockoff. He goes for Trick. Is he like a... getting me being immune? Okay, he is like getting myself to be immune. Or like losing my immunity, I should say. Ring target. But that shouldn't really mean a whole lot other than Miss Magius can burn me. As the Caulking Fire comes in. And here... I could honestly just potentially just sack my Iron Threads here. And get my Colossal in for free. Because this could easily just be Earthquaking here. So... I think I'll let go my Iron Threads here just to make sure my Colossal comes in nicely and freely in case it has Earthquake on it. So I can Terralize in for free, because he could click Earthquake in front of the Mach. Okay, he does go for Dragon Dance. And I'll just Endeavor here, making sure that he cannot set up further. And I'm not activating like Weakness Policy or what have you. So it's a Dragon Dancing, Caulking Fire. If he gets greedy and lets me get this off, I do have a priority. Okay. So he does go for the Dragon Claw. I definitely think he has Iron Head on this, which is why I'm gonna just go into my Colossal. And I get to Terralize. And I think because I know it's not Weakness Policy, I can safely click a Power Gem. Just make sure that we are clicking Terralize. We Terralize into water, because I think it's gonna be Iron Head for a Terra Fairy Colossal, because then I would be immune to its both stabs, because I'm Flash Fire, and then Fairy typing gives me the immunity. So we Power Gem, because he might get off guard, and afterwards he might have to swap into Manaphy. So I'm not gonna spend a turn here to Iron Defense, which in some cases would have been necessary if I didn't see it being Boots. But now I can just go for a Power Gem. And we should eat this Iron Head just fine. He goes for another Dragon Dance, okay. This still should be doing a lot. Yeah. And I can take any one hit and I have Custard Berry. Yeah, so we Power Gem again. He goes for Dragon Claw. Yeah, that did under half. Which is pretty good. And I think that should be in a range of Shadow Sneak. I wanna say. Caulking Fire. I should take any one hit, and I can actually Endure here. I'm gonna Endure here just to make sure that even a critical hit won't do it. Because I just need one big hit off. Oh, he has Morning Sun on this. Oh, wow. Well, then I have to Power Gem it. Okay. So now I have to Power Gem again. And we Power Gem again. He might think that I'm Custard Berry, so in some cases he might have to go for a Morning Sun. So I might have to go for Iron Defense again at the first time. He does go for Dragon Dance again. And because I do have priority, I might just keep attacking this thing. Because he has the Morning Sun here. And Shadow Sneak should take it out from that range, so I have to bank on that. So I will go for Power Gen in case of Morning Sun. Yeah, he's playing around a Custard Berry. Okay. So now I believe He might be able to gain more health here, to be fair. He's +3 right now. He will need an absolute max roll to kill me. So part of me wants to go for Iron Defense, cause then he cannot take me out yet. Yeah, we play to the fact he Morning Suns, yeah, cause then I get a nice +2 defense. Okay. Cause now I'm +2 defense versus a +3 Dragon Claw. So now I can go for a Power Gem again. I could also go for a Body Press, but I think Power Gem is always better. It's gonna do more damage. He does go for the Dragon Claw. We take it just fine. We are at 138. As I get a critical hit, that's good. 138 is that cost up range? No, we are at 33%. But I don't have to. I don't have to get the Costa Berry yet, cause it's in a range of Shadow Sneak. So we Power Gem again. It's crucial for me to get around this Skulking Fire correctly, cause otherwise we lose to it. And he only has so many Power Gems he can go off. And here, honestly, if I go for +4 on a Morning Sun, Body Press will start doing more to this thing. Even if it's max HP. So I could Iron Defense here. Cause a +3 hit should not take me out. And it should be in a Shadow Sneak range. I'll Iron Defense in case of Morning Sun. Yep. Okay. So now I can Body Press this. Now the annoying part is that if he crits me here, this would be the bad turn to crit. So technically, he would put me in a Costa Berry range now. But I think if he attacks me here and I'm in Costa, and I don't attack it, he could just Morning Sun again. So I think I Body Press. Yeah, he just Dragon Dances again. Now he's at +4, as I'm +4 as well. And I go for Body Press. And that does way too much damage to him. To the point that I don't think... he would have to get... even if he Dragon Dances and calls my cost up here, I would still be in a range of living this, so is it better for me to endure here? I think it is. He's probably gonna have to attack me. Yep. And now we are in cost up. If he preserves this, everything else on my team kills it. And a Power Gem, there's no immunity to it. So now we Power Gem. And there comes the Costa Berry, baby. Let's freaking go. And there's no Protect on his side to cover this. Let's go. I played that as carefully that I had to at the end. It was a mistake in a hindsight not to Iron Defense, even if it wasn't a weakness in a position that I was put in. But I 5-3 chest him out of that shit. Let's fucking go. That is like how I was able to play in my prime. So it feels pretty nice to be able to do that. Here, there is no need for my Colossal, right? I have dual Scarfers and I have... yeah, there's no need for this. I can just Body Press here. As he goes for Energy Ball. Okay. This might be like a Southwest set. if I had to guess. That would definitely be my first guess, seeing how he's been playing this. So because of that, I go into my Choice Bandit Iron Valiant. He has been preserving Klefki, making me think that it is a setup set, which is why I need to keep 2 Choice Scout trick mods in the back, so one of them can trick it. He cannot live, I believe, a close combat at this point, so I can just click that freely. Yep, and he's gonna let this Manaphy go down. Fantastic, so Manaphy is dead here. The next thing that I would expect to come out is probably Miss Magius, that is gonna be Terra Fairy. But I have still a fully healthy well, relatively high mark. It's not fully healthy, but it should be high enough health to handle this. And I'm faster than this thing unless it's Scarf. But yeah, we go into Bob. Bob should be perfectly fine here. And I have Choice Scarf Strict Rotom and Choice Scarf Switcheroo Noivern, just in case if these 2 are setup sets. And I have Infiltrator on Noivern, even if it's substitute, if necessary, and then a Choice Scarf Rotom can trick the Klefki. So we just have to play these last 2 Pokemon correctly, and I have the pieces for them. He goes into Klefki right away. Yeah. This makes me think it's a setup set. So I'm kinda willing to go into Noivern first on this, to trick it. This is definitely screaming like a setup Klefki, which is why he's making this kinda double. So I can utilize my Noivern here to switcheroo this. Yep. He's not like clicking pranks to Thunderwave at this late of the game, I would think. This is definitely a setup. All screens. Yeah, there's the setup Klefki. So now we switcheroo this. Worst case scenario, he goes into Miss Magius, which again is fine, because I'm crippling then that guy. So we go for switcheroo right away. As he goes for Calm Mind again. But now you're locked into. You're locked into whatever you click afterwards, and I should be fine. And Iron Valiant will just simply revenge this thing. And what do I get out of it? Keyberry. Yeah, it's the setup set. It's the setup set. So I am probably fine just clicking Flamethrower here. Because I can preserve my mark healthy for Miss Magius. So we Flamethrower here for some damage. We are still faster than it. Did a decent amount of damage to it. As he Training Kisses doesn't kill me. So I will be able to leave it in a range that I would like to think my Iron Valiant can just close combat it to death. So we go for Flamethrower. We do good amount of damage. Acid Training Kisses. Now, I wanna just make sure that now that I've given it Choice Scarf, it shouldn't able to outpace me, right? He would need a lot of speed to do that. Yeah, it would need a lot of speed for that. So we're gonna just trust the fact that Iron Valiant should outpace this, and we can click Close Combat and it should die. Right? If it's fully physically defensive. I do like 70%. If it's actually first step, I wouldn't kill it. That could have been a misplay then. Well, he would have to be fully physically defensive for this, so I think I'll go for the CC since I'm here. This should still do a lot. It almost kills it. But it's gonna take me out. But I wanna say Roto Wash should handle it. Yeah. Okay. That wasn't the optimal way to do it. I should have gone into my Roto Wasp first. Yeah, I have to go to Roto Wasp first and just Thunderbolt it. Okay, it's getting a lot hairier than I would like. But now we Thunderbolt. Yeah. Okay, this is getting a lot hairier than I would have liked. I should have gone into probably Rotom first. But hopefully we'll be able to do it. Yeah, I don't think actually I can get that close combat with Iron Valiant was a mistake. God damn it, I made one mistake and that's gonna cost me. Oh, I get a para. Please help me out. Please help me out. Okay. Okay. That's big. Is there a way for me to bail out of this? How many training kisses do you get? I could technically try to stall you out. You have 16. Technically, Mach with Rest could take care of this. But I think I have to just go for it. Hopefully we get lucky here. Please stay paralyzed. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I needed this. I made a mistake. I now might be rewarded. Come on, Rotom. Please take it out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Rotom. Thank you. Oh my god, thank you. That was such a huge joke for my behalf going to close combat. I played it so well until I forgot to check how much damage I would have done to fully physically defensive. Oh my god, and now I need to attack this. We just attack this. Is it Choice Scarf or not? He terrorizes. He terrorizes into Terra Fairy. Oh my god, I feel bad for him. Yeah, he's frustrated as he should be, honestly, but I'll go for Poison Jab. They should ideally handle it. Yeah, we can handle it. Bob takes care of this. Okay, wonderful. I get bailed out by Thunderbolt Para into 2 paralyzations, which is really lucky for my behalf. But at this point of the season, I have to take it. Unfortunately, this puts Ricky in 3 and 2, just like me, in a position where he should have beaten me with that Klefki 2-0. And that's only... The thing is, it's so annoying for my behalf to win this way, because I thought I played it almost perfectly until that Klefki moment. I think I made it proper play to trick it right away. With Noivern. But yeah, like I'm already talking with him in Discord and he's clearly fumed from this. I would feel the same if I was in his position. But I have to be happy about this for my own sake, because I need to make the playoffs. But I do feel for him, because I watched some of his games prior this generation. I think it was in the, the D League of this. I saw him having a really bad luck there. He had a very bad luck on his BBR playoff game when he lost to Prey. So I feel for him. I've been in his position. I'm sure a lot of you viewers have been in his position, that he thought he should be winning the end game and then hacks happens. But I'll take it. I'm happy about it for myself, because it makes my situation going forward a lot easier, because next week I go up against a very good friend of mine who helps me a lot throughout the season, being Addison. And I don't know how that's gonna go, because I feel like I'm getting close to my prime, but clearly, like we saw today, I make one crucial mistake, and that almost cost me, should have cost me. But I won, because Pokemon can be a game like this. But until week 6, when I go up against Addison, which hopefully won't be a game of all time, just like this one was, up to the very end. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna be see you guys later.